Good morning, guys. We have got some perfect weather over the next couple of days, which is such a beautiful closeout to South Australia. So if you've been following along, we are making our way over to the Nullarbor to cross over to WA, which is very bittersweet. I love South Australia. So in this video, we are pretty much going to be exploring Streaky Bay, pretty much right to the entrance of the Nullarbor. So right now, I'm just south of Streaky Bay. So there's this spot called the Westall Way Loop. It's this beautiful, like 32-kilometre scenic drive that sort of wraps around the coast. It is available to both four-wheel drive and two-wheel drive, so anyone can come and check this one out. But last night I camped pretty local, so I got in a little bit later and I camped out at the Tractor Beach campground. It's probably not my favourite campsite, I'm not going to lie, but it is very convenient for this location. So yeah, we've kicked it off there. I've wrapped around just ever so slightly around the coast and we've come to this spot called High Cliff. So I'm going to throw the drone up because it looks bloody incredible, but then it looks like there's also a walk that we can do as well. I was so mentally prepared to run and jump in the water when I got here, but I've come out to smooth pools and I don't think this is going to be either a swimming spot or a snorkeling spot. First of all, the surf here is freaking insane. It looks pretty cool, but it seems to be like a series of rock pools. Let me show you guys. So I don't know if I actually mentioned to you guys, I only realized this today because I was wondering why it was so busy, but apparently it's actually school holidays right now, which I clearly missed that memo. So it's probably a little bit busier than it normally is, but we've come out to the granites. It is a lot more calm than where we just were. So I reckon I'm going to grab my snorkel stuff out, probably not my fins. I think I'll just take my mask down there and we'll go for a little bit of a swim. I'm not too sure if there'll be much to see in there. She's looking a little bit murky and there is definitely a little bit of swell pushing its way in, but we'll give it a go anyway. definitely not the snorkel spot it was hyped up to be, but the swimming here is still so refreshing, and I still pretty much have the entire place to myself, which is absolutely crazy. So I'm going to enjoy this for as long as I can, and then we'll figure out where we're off to next. So the rest of the day has not quite gone to plan. So we were supposed to head up to Periluby Beach and then up to Point Brown. And I think I mentioned it, being that it is school holidays, the Periluby Beach was packed. Like, I couldn't get a campsite, so I guess that should have been an indication that it was going to be pretty busy. But then when we went to Point Brown, it turns out it's actually closed. So Point Brown is privately owned, and they closed it literally in January of this year because people were obviously just disrespecting the land, which I totally get that. But it just reminds us that if you are camping places, especially if it's free, like, look after it, take the garbage out with you. Like, stuff like that really pisses me off because it does ruin it for everybody else. But we're not going to let that ruin the rest of our trip. So I've actually come out to a spot called Whittleby Conservation Camp. There is this beautiful camp, literally $15 per night, but it's right on the water. So let me show you guys this spot. But seriously, can we just talk about the fact that people literally pay millions of dollars for views like this, and we have got this for $15? Like, I appreciate everything about my life, but definitely moments like this are a little bit more of a pinch me moment just when we get the best view in the house. But I'm super curious. So I have recently converted to sleeping with my head up more of the narrow end of my rooftop tent. If you guys have a rooftop tent like this, is there a right or wrong? Or otherwise, like, what side do you guys sleep on anyway? I'm actually really curious to know. Now, I'm not being very original with my cooking today. You guys might recall back in Port Lincoln, someone gave me those 2 huge fillets of tuna. So I've still had the second fillet in my freezer. So I thought I'd pull it out and we would eat that over the next couple of days, because when we cross the border to WA, we actually can't take any fruit or any veg. And I've actually got a lot of lemons and like onions. So I figured this would be the perfect little thing just to have over the next couple of days. Just make it up into some sashimi and some wraps. So that is exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to let that tuna do its thing for about 15 minutes. Now, I do usually make my own wraps, but I'm being a little bit on the lazy side today. So I've just literally got some Helga's wraps. I'm going to toast these on either side, and then we're going to wrap these up with the sashimi. She is looking good. I feel like I usually have a lot more greenery on my wraps, but the IGA that I went to today, this was literally all they had, which was cold tour mix. So I was like, this will have to do, but I popped it in with some chili oil. So hopefully it tastes pretty good. So this is definitely delicious, but right now I'm so distracted by the view. This is stunning. The moon is huge and the sky is literally pink. Let me show you guys. we are definitely off to a very late start this morning. I actually got up so early, but I walked down to the water and it was so clear. So obviously I ran back to the car, got all my snorkel gear and jumped in. So I'm going to make my morning coffee and start packing down camp. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a look as to how incredible that water was. But seriously, how incredible was that water? So I've all packed down. Now from here, we have got about an hour's drive. So we're heading out to a spot called Lake McDonnell. Now, if you know this particular lake, it is a salt lake here in South Australia, and one half is pink, the other half is blue, I believe. Now, it's not always pink. So fingers crossed we've got the right conditions. It's all to do with like how dry it is, how much salt is in the water. So I believe there's been a pretty big dry spell in the area. So we might just be in luck, but let's get on the road and we'll head out there now. So I just got out to Lake McDonnell and I feel like there is definitely some pink hues, but I think the drone will definitely give us a better bird's eye view. So I'm going to throw the drone up now and we'll drive on over. I'm actually so stoked that there is so much pink in this lake at the moment. Hopefully the drone and the camera are doing it justice, but it's also really hard to look at because it's so bright. So you can actually camp near Lake McDonald, but the spot was absolutely booked out. It is actually a really beautiful part of the coast, but I decided to travel up a little bit further out to a spot called Fowlers Bay. So I've heard really good things. There's 2 campsites out this particular area. You've got Scott's Bay and then you've got Mexican Hat Camping, I think it is as well. So we've booked into Scott's Bay. The road in here is so corrugated, so I've just pulled over. I'm popping the tyres down to 20 and then we're going to head on into the campsite. So this whole area is all unmarked campsites, so we can pretty much park wherever we want unless it otherwise says so. Now, as beautiful as this cliff is, I'm probably not going to camp up here just in case we get some crazy wind overnight. So I might just scope out the area and see if we can find like a relatively nice view, but nice and secluded as well. I definitely think I got the best seat in the house, and the fact that there is literally nobody around me is insane, given that it is school holidays, but that is literally what I'm chasing. Like when I'm camping, as much as I love meeting people, don't get me wrong, I just want to camp with literally nobody around me. Someone recently asked me where I actually find all my campsites. It's literally no hidden gem, guys. I use WikiCamp, so I think that I paid for it. Maybe I didn't, I can't even remember. I think it's free as well, but anyway, you can have offline maps and it literally has every single campsite and people leave reviews, which is what I love about it. So that's how I sort of narrow down what's good and what's not. I actually base it off of what other people say about the campsites. So I'm just cooking up some dinner now and I'm probably going to have a pretty early night. So one thing that makes me most excited about this location is this is officially our last stop before we hit the Nullarbor, which I feel like it's been a long time coming. Last year when I had my Suzuki Jimny is when I was supposed to cross the Nullarbor and go into Western Australia, but obviously hitting the Kangaroo did change plans. I think that plans changed for the better. Like I would not change where I am right now for anything, but yeah, super excited just to get over there and literally spend the rest of 2025 over there. So I'm going to close off this video here. I will see you guys all in the next video, but thank you guys so much for following along and I hope you enjoyed this video.
you.